Let's talk a little bit about smoke alarms. Of course, you want to make sure that those are in good working condition.
Most of our structural fires that we've been on in the last 2 weeks have had inoperable or maybe only limited operation smoke detectors. The batteries haven't been replaced. The heads have maybe even been removed from the ceilings. If people have their operating smoke detectors, that'll give them a keen warning that obviously there's a problem within the house and to egress out. Or even better yet, maybe the neighbors will hear that and they'll call 911 if you're out of the home.
They do that. I've heard that.
We were just on calls yesterday where the alarm systems were going out. It was reported by the neighbors, which is a good thing. But anytime we dismantle, replace, or just don't take the normal maintenance with those smoke detectors, we're taking a huge risk.
Smoke detectors, fire detectors, what's the difference?
Well, the fire detectors are a totally different animal, more in commercial applications. Most of the time we'll see smoke detectors. What we'd like to see is hardwire with battery backup, because then when one smoke detector goes off, the hardwire system will allow each of the detectors to go off in the house, letting you know there's a problem. So let's say there's a fire on the one end of the house, and you don't have that system, you may not know there's a fire until it migrates over there and sets off that alarm, or you detect it yourself. So we like that type of system.
Should you, how often should you be doing this? Everybody talks about daylight saving time, twice a year checking that 9-volt battery.
The hardwire system is an issue, because as long as Valley Electric has the power up and running, which they're really good at, then you're in good shape. It's the battery backup systems, number one, so you want to do that at least twice a year, usually at daylight savings time. But if you have a total battery system that is not hardwired, test those on an even more frequent basis. Push the button, do the test, make sure it sounds.
And let's talk about carbon monoxide detectors.
Yeah, our houses, the new construction is making these homes so tight in nature that any type of byproduct of combustion, whether you even be using stoves, heating systems, anything along those lines, carbon monoxide detectors will pick up that overaccumulation, because it affects you over a period of time. So you may accumulate carbon monoxide and it has adverse impacts, especially in small animals and children first. If you start seeing erratic behavior, redness, things along those lines, call 911 immediately, have us come out and check. Where you don't usually see that problem are homes that are totally electric, unless you have an attached car garage where you have a tendency to let that car warm up in the morning, maybe, something along those lines, or using some other type of heating device or anything else that would give you those byproducts of combustion.
All right, and how about fire extinguishers?
Fire extinguishers, obviously every home should have them, and it's warranted when we have commercial applications. But we'd love to see, we go a little bit extra with our recommendation. We love to see them in the garage, the kitchens, but we also like to see them in some of the bedrooms, because if there is a fire, it may be your only means or only tool available to help you egress out of the house.
There's a lot of different things about fire extinguishers, including the correct applications and that learning how much these actually do put out a fire, because people have the idea that they put out a lot more than they really do, and also using them correctly.
Absolutely. There's different applications. There's ordinary combustibles, there's electrical, there's metal. It could be flammable liquids. There's usually a little pictures accompanying what type of material that fire extinguisher will suppress. Usually they overlap. So you may have a 2A10 BC. So it'll be 2 times your normal product on A, which is ordinary combustibles, and then BC is your electrical and your flammable liquids.
What do you recommend for the regular, typical household?
Normal application, if you have garage, you would definitely want to have it be able to cover flammable liquids and electric. And so you would want an ABC possibly in there. And then you would want something applicable for grease fires in your kitchen. The one you may have in your bedroom that you're going to possibly use for egress, you want it to cover all the bases.
And then shooting at the base of the fire in a sweeping motion, right?
Sweeping fashion, absolutely. Sweeping fashion. And if you're trying to egress out, keep moving as you're extinguishing. You don't want to stand there and discharge all the product and then find out you still can't get out.
Let's also talk about the escape plans in case you are in a situation where you have a structure fire.
Escape plans, make sure that each member of the family is keenly aware of the escape plan and from each of their different areas of the house, because it's nice to know that they know how to get out of their bedrooms. What if they're not in the bedrooms at the time of the fire? So you want to make sure that they have access, egress issues, that they have communication plans in place so that they know where to meet, how to get a hold of somebody if they're the kids that are home and they're waiting for mom to come back from the store. They know how to get in contact, make sure they know how to call 911, how to meet the fire department to tell them exactly where the fire is, close doors behind them. There's a whole number of things that can come with the plan, and we're always willing to help somebody with that.
And it's important to practice the escape plan, right?
Absolutely. It's great to have a plan, but if you don't execute it in a non-emergency situation, familiarization will be lost. So we want to make sure practice on a regular basis, everyone's keenly aware, and you move forward.
And don't ventilate the fire by opening the windows.
And try not to leave the doors open behind you. It's one of the big challenges because it just allows all that fresh air to be introduced into that environment, which can exacerbate the fire conditions.
So people can call the fire department down here at your guys' regular non-emergency number to find out some tips to have you guys help them maybe with their families to talk about fire safety?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. Fire prevention is a key ingredient to success on any given incident. So if people are more aware of what the things they can do to help us, let's say worst case scenario does develop, there is an electrical fire within the home. If they know the steps to take, make sure everybody's out, they report that everybody's out, we don't have to worry about that part of it. Life safety is paramount. If there's any question that somebody is still left in that structure, that's going to take priority. So if we know we can eliminate that from the equation, then we can focus more on ensuring that the fire doesn't grow in size. Our job is we can't control the size of the fire prior to our arrival. So once we get there, we want to stop the fire exactly where it is, not let it grow and extend to whether other areas in the structure or even outside the structure.
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Good job.